full electroplated silver faceplate. For those of you that are new here, my name is Chase. Welcome to my channel. When you're here, we build our dreams. So today, we're building the infamous Iron Man or infamous Dr. Doom, as you can see, fit with green LEDs and an electroplated face mask. If you have any questions, any specific questions, don't be afraid to comment. Please like the video and subscribe, trying to get my channel out there. Let's check it out. All right, so laid out in front of us here are gonna be all of the parts. Don't forget the 3D files by Yo Studios titled Infamous Dr. Doom. There's all the parts, minus the face mask. The face mask, you'll see what we're doing with soon. There's all the parts. I'm gonna get the sanding. This is gonna be a cool one, guys. All right, starting off with an 80 grit sandpaper. I think an 80 and a 120 are what I did before this next view. So make sure to go all the way around the helmet. Don't sit in one place, you know the drill. Next, I'm gonna give you a quick sight. This is what it should look like after you're done sanding your first round before priming. This is what I recommend to get the best finish. So now, as you can see, I've already primed it at least once. I'm going back and sanding it with a finer grit sandpaper. You guys know, do this over and over again. After this, I like to do a coat of Bondo in the very obvious low spots. I just dab a little bit like that and then use a piece of foam I cut out to smooth it over, kind of like a sweeping brush motion. It's been working really well for me. A little pause. I'm in the sanding process. As you can see, my shirt's destroyed. Sanding and priming over and over again. You guys get it, whatever. I'm gonna talk to you about my plan with these pieces. These pieces go on top of the helmet, like right here, and also the eyes. I printed out of this clear PLA. So my plan is not for it to be completely, see-through, but I want to sand it, make it almost completely translucent, just like my Ultimatrix video. These are called LED nudes. I don't know if you guys have seen these from Adafruit. They're super cool. They're flexible, so they'll go under it, and then on top of the helmet, these will illuminate this green color. So that's my plan with these, and we're gonna see if it works. But I just wanted to let you know what I'm doing and how I'm gonna do that before I got too far into it. Also, these things, so they're just LEDs. They connect to any I think 3 volts. So I got this coin battery, let's see, this coin battery with a switch on it, and it's gonna power them. But right now I'm also sanding these, so that way they'll be able to do that. Anyways, quick update. So here is where the helmet's looking, just in terms of sanding and priming. I think it's honestly really close. It's looking really good. But, so these top pieces, so I was having a little bit of an issue with my idea. So I wanted light to come out through the top. Most people paint them like a cool color, like a light blue or something. But I wanted everything to be green, like a just glowing Dr. Doom green. Look how cool that looks. That's crazy. A glowing green. So I printed these out in clear PLA, which obviously isn't nearly as good as resin or anything like that. But if you can see those layer lines, the layer lines were killing me. I thought I'd be able to sand them all the way out, so that way the light would just come out and diffuse out the top. And it was working a little bit, but you could still see those distinct lines when it was, here we go, when it was like in the helmet. Let's see. When it was in the helmet, so you can still see those distinct lines. So I had an idea. So I went ahead and took a milk jug and used these as a pattern and cut the top out to match. And look how much more solid white that is. So that way, when they're in the top of the helmet, it's gonna be hard to show it, but it has 2 layers of that to go through, and it's super diffused. So I'm gonna use them both, the plastic and the PLA. So that way, all that light's just gonna be illuminating out and like a, like that. So I'm gonna go ahead. I also have to do that for the front triangle piece. Wherever I put that, I don't know where it's at right now. So yeah, I also have to do that for the front triangle piece and for the eyes. But shouldn't be bad at all. They just cut with a pair of scissors. So that's a new little trick. So you can just cut it out of a milk jug. Here's some spare pieces of that plastic if you want to see it. They're just, I mean, it's literally like you can see it was round like on the bottle. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut those. And then also I'm going to do a step of wet sanding on the whole thing. And then I'll show you what it looks like after the wet sanding. And then we should be good to go. But you guys have probably seen that before in my other videos. If not, go check it out, the A to Z series. But I'm going to wet sand and then we will be ready to paint. So all good things. Let's move on. So now we're on to wet sanding. I know you guys have seen some of this before. I'm using 220 grit sandpaper. It's gonna work fine for this. I'm gonna drip a little bit of water on it and just small circles, just sand it the best you can. And then next, we're moving right onto the base coat. This base coat is a gloss black that eventually failed me, but this is how it started. Quick update since you last talked to me. That's reversed. Since I last talked to you, quick update. So, a couple things to notice. I have gloves on. We have a box right here. And I have a towel right here, which you can't see, but you will see in a minute. Because there's something super awesome in the box. And I'm pumped. But I've already opened it, so sorry. Secondly, I have a clip of me walking out of my basement into the tent I set up to spray black on this helmet, the base coat. And it fell over. so this is, which is such a pain, but I gotta let it dry still. It kind of looks cool, but you can tell, I mean, it fell on the fabric, so I gotta let it dry and then I'll have to sand it a little bit, but here's where we're at. I ran out of black gloss paint, so we're gonna use the hammered black, which I actually think will be pretty cool because it'll give the rest of this helmet, once we do the special finish, it will give the rest of this helmet like a hard steel look, and I think that is gonna work really well. So since this is drying again, which sucks, but whatever, happens all the time. This box is from our channel sponsor PCB Way, who have went above and beyond this time. I mean, I am stoked. But we got an electroplated face mask for this build. I don't even know if it's gonna focus. It's so reflective. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh. Even the inside too turned out great. So when these lights go in the mask, they'll just be gleaming off this thing. It even still got fingerprints of me wearing the gloves, but whatever. I can only do so much. But this is gonna be the face mask. Full electroplated silver faceplate. All right, how to find this option over on PCBWay's website. You're gonna wanna hover over the 3D printing option, select it, drag and drop your file, go ahead and select resin, so that way the print comes out really nice with clean edges. Go over to surface finish, select electroplating, and then pick your color of desire. And that's how I did this exact finish. Thank you, PCBWay. Check them out, they're the best. So now we're going to install magnets in the faceplate and then right on to the hammered black paint on the rest of the helmet after the failure of the gloss black that I mentioned earlier. Next are the magnets into the rest of the helmet opposite the faceplate after the paint is dried. While we're at it, let's get a quick look at this hammered spray paint. It's really cool, all those little dust marks. I mean, some of them are real dust, like the one up top there, but lots of them are just the little indents that this hammered paint puts on your stuff. It looks awesome. I really like it. Next, I will be installing an elastic band. This is gonna hold the back plate onto the main part of the helmet. I like them though, because you can still pull them out to get enough room to put the helmet on. So just install them like so on the edge where the magnets go and glue the other end right to the rest of the helmet. I also use a black fabric hot glue. It's a little different than regular hot glue. It seems to work good enough, but here's the final product. Next is the eyes. This was a huge pain, as you can tell from me holding that position. Nobody does that unless they're in trouble. That was me. I almost stayed with the hammered black, but this is the finish I was thinking about the whole time. It's a graphite rub. You need this graphite powder. It just comes in a can off Amazon, and then I have like a beauty sponge or whatever they're called, makeup sponge. And then you pretty much just get some of the powder on the sponge and rub it on to the helmet. And it is magical. It is so fun to watch. I actually left a lot of this clip in because I thought you guys would think it was super satisfying, because I do. Maybe you don't. If you don't, just let me know in the comments. Say I'm an idiot. I can take it. I can take it. What you're gonna wanna do is rub it like this around the entire helmet. After the graphite rub, you just want to take a paper towel or maybe even a piece of fabric and just wipe off the excess. This stuff is a huge mess, so make sure you do it in a place where you can get graphite powder, or you can turn whatever's below it gray. Just a little PSA. And here's a little look after. It's got some paper towel fibers on it, but you get the idea. It looks crazy. And you can always redust graphite powder if it ever starts to darken or look a little weird. You can always just add some on. Next, we will be putting in the top light pieces. I don't even know what to call them, but as long as you just stick them in, they're kind of tight. Get them to stick in there and then glue them down, and they look perfect. They'll do great. I'm using the plastic from that milk jug that I talked about and the prints. So I just wanted the extra level of diffusion. And while they're in, I'm doing a first light test. And this is just with one LED. I ended up doing 2 of them just to make it way brighter. I love the way that the green illuminates under the helmet in this build. It's so underrated. I think Doom does that every time, and I'm just obsessed with that little detail about this build. Next, I'm gonna put the LEDs actually installed into the helmet. As we talked about before, this is just a like a coin cell battery with an on-off switch and then hooked up to the LEDs. This is how I ended up gluing the LEDs right alongside the pieces in the top, and then I put the switch on the side. Just easy access. Make sure you don't glue it on the wrong side. And then I went ahead and installed the other LEDs on the face mask. I think this is very optional. I just wanted it to be brighter, but that is what I ended up doing. I glued them in between and then surrounded them around the top of the eyes, which you'll see in this next little clip right here. Next and lastly, I did end up gluing on the faceplate because I didn't want to drop it. So here we are. So after all those steps, here we have the final product with the LED lights and this formation on the inside. Links are below to find these exact LEDs. Anything else found in this video, I will link in the description. If there's something I didn't link specifically, just make a comment and I will look it up and put it on there for you. It'd be really hard to top this one, guys. And also, if you can see, that graphite rub really stepped it up to look just like a darkened steel. And I almost left it with the hammered black paint because hammered black paint looked really good. But here is the infamous Dr. Doom, filed by Yoast Studios in its full glory. The best, I think my favorite helmet I've ever made. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please, please share, like the video, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. I'm trying to build this channel. I'm moving soon. I'll have a bigger workshop. Things are going to elevate big time, and they're not always going to be 3D printing. I have more ideas in the works. So thank you to everybody. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.